All right, I'm here with new Cal commit, Fernando Mendoza. How are you?
Doing great, Rob. Thanks so much for having me on.
All right, so first, I think this a lot of people's question right now. What informed your decision to commit to Cal?
So, although Cal's very far from home, I did a lot of research online through Cal's website on it, and I just thought it was the ultimate package: great academics, great alumni, support staff, and most importantly, amazing football. I mean, it plays in the Pac-12, and they have a great tradition of quarterbacks. So I couldn't pass down the opportunity.
And a few people are asking as well, what informed your decision to decommit from Yale?
So I love Cal, and Cal offered me a full athletic scholarship, and I thought it was really important to, you know, lay off the burden of my family financially, so they wouldn't have to pay for school, and just pave the way for my brothers to, show them that they could also be Power Five quarterbacks, and let's say if they need to pay for schooling, we could transfer my funds to their account. So I thought it'd be a really, uh, I just took it upon myself to be a family man in that case.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, what are your plans for college, and where do you see yourself in 4 years?
So in 4 years, realistically, I see myself playing in the Reese's Senior Bowl, getting ready to get drafted, and be the next one to add to the great lineage of Cal quarterbacks. And I also see myself graduating with a Haas uh, uh, program degree, which is the business program over there. It's actually the third undergraduate business program in the nation. So I'm very excited to apply to that and go from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Are you interested in pursuing an MBA possibly, or would that be outside your purview for right now?
No, I mean my both my parents have my mom has an MBA and they both did graduate school, so I think an MBA would be amazing and they definitely would love to get it at some point. And I think schooling is very important, especially as football doesn't last forever. I mean, unless you're Tom Brady. So I mean, I think it's very important. And at some point in my career, I would love to get my MBA and plan on it.
So, um, speaking of new experiences, what advice would you give your outgoing senior self coming from? What advice would your outgoing senior self give your incoming freshman self if you could travel back in time those 4 years?
So what I would tell myself is first, I mean, transfer to Columbus because Columbus has been an amazing experience, and I love everything about it: the football aspect, the academic, the kids around the school, and everything like that. So that would be my first piece of advice. But second, anything is possible. I mean, I came into Columbus as fifth string quarterback my sophomore year, to starting a couple games that year and helping the team win a state championship, and then led on to have, I mean, what I say a pretty good career at Columbus. We won states 2019. Uh, we essentially won. We were dubbed state championships 2020 and 2021. This year we lost in the state semifinals. So I thought I had a great career, and just all the coaches around Columbus and academics and support staff there really helped me thrive and strive in the school and become the man who I am today.
The quarterback is known as the field general,
Yeah.
and it's the focus of a lot of the fans' attention. But what position do you think is the most underrated on the football field?
I mean, as the quarterback, I mean, my best friend, not the receivers, although I love them, not the running backs, but it really is the offensive line. I mean, especially Columbus having a great offensive line all 3 years, and this year, I mean, them especially helping me out and being such a young core. I can't wait to see our offensive line really develop as they're such hard workers, and I know they're legitimate D1 football prospects. And the offensive line needs to be the quarterback's best friend, and I think that's the position or position group slash unit that does not get appreciated as there's not really, a bunch of spotlight and, hype around offensive linemen. However, I think it's not the most important position on the football field. As without the trenches, you can't win a football game.
I think team very dear to my heart has proven that. The Miami Dolphins, they've proven that without an offensive line, you will struggle to win games. Even the defense is great.
Definitely.
A lot of things go right.
Well,
Offensive
well,
line,
well, I mean, Joe Burrow's doing it right now. So
um, a lot of things can go right. If the offensive line isn't there, things are very difficult. I would say as well they are the most important. So speaking of, you've spoken a bit about big games and big opportunities that you've received. How do you get yourself to focus and calm your nerves before a big game? such as state championship, a tri-county championship, regional finals?
So funny enough, I actually learned this from Mac Jones himself, who I like to model my game after him and Tom Brady as being born in Boston. A lot of breathing techniques where, I can go into detail about it, but your inhale, well, your exhale is a lot longer than your inhale, and just not just to slow your heart rate down and stuff like that. But I think I have full confidence in myself at all times, and with all the preparation I've done and hard work, I know personally, I believe my perspective is that I worked harder than anybody else around me and that I know of. So there's no reason that I can't rise to the occasion and, grab that opportunity, win that game, and etc.
Yeah, for sure. I think self confidence is something that really is needed, especially in big situations. How much preparation goes into the week before a huge game, and what does that
Okay.
normally consist of?
Okay. That's actually a great question. So we will play the previous Friday. Saturday, we will do, a little rehab, just if you got banged up a little bit. And Sunday's when it really all starts. Sunday, I just do a quick little overview. I'll just, watch probably whatever 4 games of the team before, just to quickly overview, get my mind, just, a little quick refresh of who we're playing. And then Monday, what you'll do is you have a specific plan. So you look at them, hey, what's their coverage they play the most? Let's see how they play that coverage when we're on the right hash. Let's see when they play the coverage when it's 1st and 10. Let's see what coverage they play in the red zone. And every single day kind of go through those scenarios. So you know the tendencies in the specific scenarios. So you're really, you're prepared, and you know that, hey, when we're on the 5-yard line, we can pick up this guy because he always bites and slants, and we can just hit a slant fade on him. There's just a bunch of things. I think film is so important. And if you don't watch film as a quarterback, and you hear all the great ones say it, they do hours and countless hours of film. That's one advantage that I think I have. I actually love film. I love learning more about the game, the football IQ side. So for me, if anything, it's fun. It's not really a workload. So I do it in my free time all the time. And it's a lot that goes into it. It's a really complex system, but it really depends on the specific team. But what usually quarterbacks will do, they'll have a system, as I said before, going over different coverages, different scenarios, etc.
So on the actual field, how would you pick apart? What would be one thing that would catch your eye, and that this is a zone? I'm gonna throw a zone beater, a cover three beater. I'm gonna throw a man beater. What really helps you tip you off to what you're thinking about possibly making audibles?
Okay. Well, I think, there's a lot of aspects in football. Football is such, you really need to worry about 11 guys all the time because, it's a team game. It's not just one person you can key on and win a game. However, I think the safeties and corners really tell you a lot about the coverage, and especially the safeties' depth, their hips, their angles, and stuff like that, and where their eyes are. It can really tell you a lot about blitzes and about the coverage they are in, whether it's 1 high, 2 high, whether they're going to roll to 3, and just et cetera like that. However, I think one of the most important things is also the corners. However, the corners, it's why film is so important, because with the corners, they're taught to, bait you. They're taught to show these, other coverage tendencies, and then they'll run the opposite coverage. But they're informed to, hey, like, make sure you show cover 3 and then roll to cover 2, cloud to cover 2, or just, 3 cloud. And one thing, that's why I think film is so important, especially on corners, to see their tendencies, to see what, techniques they play, and just, be prepared, because corners are really, in today's day and age, they're so fast. And personally, I think they probably are the best athletes on the field, as they need to be super fast to catch up with receivers. And I think the corners are just their leverage, their eyes, and the yardage are probably 3 main things that I look at.
Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl right now?
So my grandfather went to LSU. He's a huge LSU fan. So, you can already kind of see where this answer is going towards. I actually have a little LSU fathead in my room because he bought it for me. And so I love Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Although, I love the Rams, and, they're LA Rams. They beat the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm going to be in San Francisco next year. So it was a little heartbreaking. So I'm definitely going for the Bengals. They're the underdogs. It's the LA's home turf. So I think it'd be really cool if Joe Burrow could pull one out, not only be the comeback player of the year, which I predict, but also be a Super Bowl champion and hopefully MVP.
How about, can we get a point spread from you for this game?
So it's on The Simpsons. It was like 34-31 Bengals. So why not just go that? I mean, The Simpsons have predicted things in the past. I mean, I watched a couple of YouTube videos on that. Pretty interesting. So I'll run with it.
Not gambling advice. Speaking of
No,
Super
no, no.
Bowls,
I've never gambled in my life. Just
no,
disclosure there.
that's just a legal disclosure there. We just gotta leave that in there. Not gambling advice. Speaking of Super Bowls, what are your thoughts about Tom Brady's retirement and his legacy?
So at first, I mean, I was not a big Adam Schefter fan when I heard that he reported it. I thought it was fake, and I was like, no way, Tom Brady's hanging it up. But then it all kind of made sense. And when he officially retired and posted it on his Instagram and social media, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually on my visit at Berkeley, and I shed a tear at night about it. It was very heartbreaking, as ever since I was 6 years old, I was watching Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and modeling like, wow, I want to be that guy. I want to be that underrated guy who goes to the Super Bowl and wins Super Bowls and becomes, the greatest all time. And I really try to model all aspects of my life around Tom Brady. He's a super hard worker. He's a winner, and he's just a great guy overall through his etiquette and the business that he does. And I think he's a great role model.
Yeah, yeah. There's been mention of your game modeling Tom Brady, and what a guy, a tremendous legacy.
Yeah.
So, how about a few word associations? I'll give you a word or two. And tell me a word or two that pops in your head. Columbus football,
Winning.
the quarterback position,
50% mental, 50% physical.
ooh, Columbus head football coach, Dave Dunn.
Program changer. Although Columbus is really great in the past, I've only been under the Coach Dunn reign, and he's done great and has really helped the program elevate itself.
The Moss program at Columbus.
Prestigious and great alumni connections.
That song on your playlist.
Last song on my playlist. So I've been listening to a song called Sweater Weather. It was kind of an old-timey song. I mean, it's nice, but I like a line about it. It mentions California, so I like it. I mean, I've gotten into kind of like pop music recently and kind of shifted away from all of that, mumble music and stuff to really calm my mind. And actually, interesting thing. So I read this season, Josh Allen, he actually listens to pop and classical music before games to really clear his mind. As a quarterback, I said before, I believe it's 50% mental, 50% physical. So I started doing that, and I saw success throughout the season doing that. So I don't know if it's just it's just a niche or whatever it is, but it helps clear my mind. So I love that music.
Yeah, I mean the slower songs. I mean you're talking about getting your heart rate down. So it can happen that the beat of the music, your heartbeat can match it. I mean, man, you go with a little 40 beat per minute on some classical, you're gonna be chilling for that game.
Exactly.
Best NFL commentator.
So tell me, I believe it's Tony Romo right now. However, I also heard rumors, or I don't know if it's official, that Tom Brady was being offered large sums of money to be a broadcaster or commentator. So hopefully he does that, as he's my role model. But right now, I think it's Tony Romo. However, the other guys are great as well.
A Columbus memory.
Columbus memory. One of my favorite Columbus memories was throwing the game-winning pass to Chris Gibber in the back of the end zone. And although I got hit, I mean, there's just so much in that play in that game versus Deerfield Beach that just encompassed my Columbus career. I got hit. I mean, I got up, but my lineman helped me up. We all celebrated as a team. And it was just, I mean, that junior year was just so special. I was like, my other years were really special, but junior year was so special as we had to dodge so many obstacles. Just players, COVID around Miami-Dade just being a hot spot and getting games canceled on us on the game day. And I thought it was great how we were able to beat such a powerhouse of Deerfield Beach.
For sure, for sure. Biggest moment on the football field.
Biggest moment on the football field. Honestly, Biggest moment on the football field for me, probably be all the morning workouts that I would do with my teammates, non-regulated by coaches. Those are the moments that win games that, they create chemistry. I mean, you work on your anticipation and you really build a true, valid, brotherhood. Those are the practices and workouts that you really, bond with your brothers and really, you really associate and be like, hey, we're going to go to this goal. We want to win here. So I think those are my biggest memories in the football field. As I spent countless hours and I just remember them as the back of my hand.
Biggest heartbreak on the football field.
State semifinals 2021 senior season. My last game ever as Columbus. I've always sophomore year won the championship and junior year won the championship. So I've never really lost in the playoffs ever. So it's kind of heartbreaking to see like, wow, this can actually come to an end. So it was very heartbreaking that moment. And I never really want to feel that way again.
Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you great luck at Cal.
Thank you, Rob. Before I leave, I just want to express that how excited I am to get up to Cal and start working with the guys and, really joining that brotherhood in June and helping the Golden Bears to win Pac-12 championships and Rose Bowls and hopefully national football championships in the future.
Thank you.